Hi, and welcome to Modern Magic at Shane's Trading Card Games. I'm Ellis, I'm with beautiful Costa, and we'll be commentating this match. How are you today, Costa?
Well, obviously feeling beautiful.
Obviously. We've got an interesting matchup here. We've got Ad Nauseum combo versus Affinity. Costa, how do you feel about these decks?
I hate them both.
So we're off to a good start.
No. They're not the worst decks in Modern.
We've got a quick start here from Affinity.
I love Affinity when it does this. It's just like none of the he hasn't even played a land and he already has 3 creatures on the field. It's just a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it is very impressive. It just like dumps the hand completely. Just we don't want any of this sitting up here, and we're just going to swarm the board. Whereas Ad Nauseum is doing something very different. That's suspending is it a Lotus Bloom? Lotus Bloom. So that gets suspended for 3, and eventually he'll be able to add 3 mana to his mana pool.
Which is really important for this deck.
Yeah. They really need to get to 6 mana so that they can cast their Angel's Grace and Ad Nauseum in the same turn, and then just win.
That's combo decks for you. That's your type of deck though, isn't it, Alice?
Oh yeah, I'm partial to the odd combo deck. Storm, or Living End, all those sorts of things.
Well, it's interesting because Affinity's currently got him on like a 7-turn clock, just with the board state that it's got at the moment.
Which is pretty impressive for turn 2, kind of.
Yeah,
Well, think about it.
But like, how often does Ad Nauseum normally take to combo off? Here we go, 3-turn clock.
Wow, there we go. Seeing some strong plays from the Affinity player.
That's what I love about Affinity. It's like the most synergistic aggro deck in Modern. I mean, someone's obviously going to come out in the comments and prove me wrong, but
no, it's just all synergy. Every card kind of boosts every other one up, and I mean, it's not even like just the creatures. It's the land. It's the mana rocks in Mox Opal.
Oh, yeah.
And stuff like that. It's just it all works together, and it all boosts everything up, and then you get a.
But you can see, even without like Cranial Plating or Arcbound Road, these are all of the Pauper cards.
Yeah.
And he's already on a 3-turn clock. Like,
it's pretty impressive.
And, I mean, granted, this is against an empty board, because Ad Nauseum only really plays 4 creatures. And even then...
They're not really creatures, they're just lands, because they're Simian Spirit Guides.
Which, I've never actually seen one be placed on the board versus Ad Nauseum.
Not in Ad Nauseum, but Living End plays them to the board quite frequently when there's nothing better to do. But
yeah, well, they're obviously not in the ideal position and not winning the game if they're playing them as creatures.
No, exactly not. But Ad Nauseum's interesting because, I mean, 6 mana is a lot of mana to get to, but it does have these things like Lotus Bloom to kind of ramp themselves there. So usually, I think by about turn 4, maybe, depending on how good a start they can get off quite quick.
I think the real question we got to ask ourselves is, what can Affinity do besides outracing it to stop the combo?
Well, I don't think Affinity has too many other options aside from that. It's really I was looking up some Ad Nauseum primers and stuff, and it was like the best way to beat Ad Nauseum is to just race it, because the combo is with the combo they just draw their entire deck, which means that they can protect their lethal lightning storm. It just gets around a lot of things. And especially because it doesn't play permanence, so the combo isn't like Splinter Twin where you can interact with the Deceiver Exarch.
Well, it does play permanence because you can have. There's the is it Phyrexian Unlife? Is that the enchantment?
Yeah. Phyrexian Unlife is like the Angel's Grace 5 through 7.
So wait, what's happened here? Because he's animated a manland. Is that a Inkmoth Nexus or a Blinkmoth Nexus?
It is one of the two.
Okay,
and it's going to be doing some damage, a lot of damage.
But why did he leave the Ornithopter up? I mean, I'm assuming there's a reason.
I think it has Summoning Sickness.
No, because that was the one he played on turn 1. I'm pretty sure.
No, he had one Ornithopter out before, and then he played another one, is what I'm assuming.
Okay, cool. We're definitely paying attention to the game
we're
and
really,
not going on tangents.
No, we're really paying attention here.
Cool beans. Something's happening on the Ad Nauseum side. Hasn't done much. Oh, there's the enchantment that we were just talking about.
There's Phyrexian Unlife.
It's giving him an extra turn.
It does, because Phyrexian Unlife will turn all regular damage that he will take past 0 into infect damage, which means that you essentially get 10 more life.
Yeah, well, but he also doesn't lose the game for being on 0 life. So,
Exactly.
And he can also go to negative life. So, there's going to be, he only needs to do 5 damage to him. Any damage past that will just go into the negative, and then he's going to do 10 damage next turn anyway.
Well, actually, it's only 3 because he's already taken 3 infect damage off of the blink moth. Is that
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Definitely paying attention.
We're really, really paying attention, guys.
Either way, that's still bought him an extra turn, and
Yeah.
I don't think the infect damage, is going to be too much.
It was probably...
What did he draw this turn? Did he draw a card this turn?
I'm sure he did.
There it is.
There it is.
Is that another signal pest, or is that the little life link?
Is that the
It's the glare. It's the glare. We can't.
We are nothing but professional here. I think it might even be the Artifact Lord. The one that gives artifacts +1/+1.
You're talking about the Overseer or the blue one?
I think the blue one.
Does he have a blue source?
No, he doesn't. So it can't be that. It also has to be played for 1 mana, so I don't know what it is. It's really glary. In our defense,
why is he playing blank white cards as land?
It's Affinity. He doesn't need colors.
That's one of the best things about Affinity, though. Is I think it might be a Dark Seal Citadel.
No, it's not even that.
That's the big.
It's a Volt Scourge. It's a Volt Scourge because he took life.
Yeah, see,
there he is. We got there.
Yeah, I think that that's one of the strongest things about Affinity, though, is that it can play any color because it's got those mana rocks and the Springleaf Drum. I wouldn't be surprised if someone starts putting counter spells in it. Like, I mean, obviously the exact opposite of what you want to do in an aggro deck, but you can have anything in the sideboard. One of my favorite cards that I used to play when I used to play a pauper budget Infinity was not Shrapnel Blast. What's the other one? Shrapnel Blast did work as well. Galvanic Blast.
Oh, we have an Ad Nauseum here.
Oh,
it's going off. We might even see an Ad Nauseum victory on 0 life and 6 infect.
See, this is winning an instance. Is it whose turn is it as well?
It's his turn.
Yeah, it like this game was the Infinities to win. Like, and I just feel like it's clutched away from victory, and like he deserved
The Affinity player had such a strong start and just was able to get everything out there. And like I said, it was all these pauper cards working together,
it's the
synergizing,
synergy,
and all Ad Nauseum has to do is go, well, I'm going to play the titular card of the deck, and I'm going to draw everything and win.
Yeah, well, as I said, I play control to do it. I don't think I've actually, besides one game, actually 2 games, that I have won against Ad Nauseum. While playing against it. One of them I was very lucky and was playing Slaughter Games and managed to take the namesake card Ad Nauseum out of his hand. Yeah. Give him a bit of a lobotomy, and that won me the game. And another game, I was playing America Control, and I managed to just do damage before he just couldn't draw the combo. Yeah. So I don't necessarily call that me winning, but more him losing. But that's the deck.
That is how it operates. I mean, it's how do you feel about that kind of? It's a very linear deck in the sense that, I mean, you take a combo deck like Splinter Twin, and it can win via Splinter Twin combo, or it can go a bit more control-y Bernie route. Whereas this, it is all eggs in one basket, and it's legitimately.
It definitely doesn't suit my play style. I can see how it would suit other people. I mean, it seems like a less fun version of Storm.
Yeah. At least Storm, you're challenging.
You've got choices to make.
Your sequencing and everything like that. And you can see the Affinity player has scooped up. Yes, and Nauseum did it. And we've had a quick sideboard there. Instantaneous, almost.
Through the magic, and we suddenly have audio as well.
Oh, we do.
I'm going to mute that on the laptop that we're viewing on. But I got a feel for the Infinity player here. Like, I feel like he should have won that game. Like
It was very much he was in control the entire time, and Ad Nauseum just went Ad Nauseum, and that'll do it.
I feel he's traditionally won Magic how you traditionally win by getting his opponent down to 0,
And that wasn't enough.
but that
was not enough.
That just didn't do it for the rest of us. So
I think we have a mulligan from the Ad Nauseum player here.
Now, you're more of a combo player than I am, but does the mulligan with Ad Nauseum hurt it much, or is it better to have those cards that you need?
You need. I would imagine that you need. There are certain pieces. I mean, surely having either Ad Nauseum or Angel's Grace or something like that in your opening hand is a plus. Angel's Grace is just means that you don't lose the game for that turn, and because it has split second, it means that your opponent can't really react to it. But you also having a turn 1 Lotus Bloom ensures that you have that mana later on when you need to combo off and get to 6 or however much it is. Also have it. I think he does actually have the Angel's Grace there.
Oh, cool. But it's interesting to see how the new mulligan rule, now that they can scry, how that will affect combo decks.
I expect that'll make combo decks even stronger. Things that are relatively risky. I mean, something like Ad Nauseum or Amulet Bloom, even things like that at Boggles, I reckon will get better. Just knowing that you're going to draw into or not draw into land, depending on what you kept. I think it's just going to make those decks that little bit better.
And I mean, I think that's the biggest challenge Magic had when they were coming up with a new mulligan rule, because they wanted to make the game more fun and stop the people being land screwed.
Yeah.
But they didn't want to give an unfair advantage to some of these other decks that are... What do I think they're called? Unfair decks,
quote unquote unfair decks. Well, when you can get a Primeval Titan out on turn 2, that's a little unfair.
I wouldn't necessarily call that one of the unfair decks, as much as say Ad Nauseum, Storm, or
Grishelbrand.
I hate that deck.
I love it. If you can get a Grishelbrand out on turn 2, you deserve to win. That's my kind of game.
I know that far too well, Alice. See, this is also the issue with playing Affinity. He's dropped his hand? Does he have cards in his hand?
I think he might have 1 or 2.
Judging by math, he probably does have a card in his hand. But he's good, once you've dropped all your cards, you've got no way of refilling it. Then again, that's wrong. They have that Thoughtcast?
Thoughtcast, which I think it's the only card in the deck that genuinely has affinity for artifacts. Because I'm pretty sure the name Affinity is like
I'm pretty sure he's played Frogmite on the field.
Oh, maybe.
So
I could be wrong.
Don't want to allow me. I can't tell because of the glary sort of void version of it. But don't want to prove you wrong. But
no, prove me wrong.
There we are. Unfortunately, he's only got 2 damage on the field at the moment. Assuming that one of those lands is a man land.
As you can see, he's already starting on the infect and damage route, which makes a lot of sense. I mean,
especially playing against Ad Nauseum.
Yeah, you want to make their Phyrexian Unlife as ineffective as possible. I mean, it's no good saying all your damage will now be infect when you're on 7 infect damage.
Well, I mean, they're probably still buying the turn, and that's all he needs for the combo to...
Yeah, that is true.
As long as he's got some life and not just on the...
Is not just dead.
Oh, what's he played there?
Oh,
is that a new card?
That looks like some sideboard tech.
We really wish we had deck lists.
Yeah, that would have been amazing. We should...
We've got some unknown... I almost think it's something from one of the newer sets as well.
Maybe. It's not Give Her Aether Grid or whatever it is.
Defense Grid? No.
We're going to try and Google this for you, folks.
I don't even know what to start Googling.
Random Affinity sideboard cards against Ad Nauseum. Because that is the cool thing about Affinity, is that because it isn't reliant on colors and it is able to have access to all the colors, it can have a very diverse sideboard, which I always like. I mean, it can bring in
so
all
many
sorts
flavors.
of things.
Yeah. No idea what that card is. And we're going to get people in the comments just going, come on, guys.
It's
very common
obviously
card."
this.
I haven't played Affinity since playing my Pauper version back in the day. Though I'm wondering if this guy is playing a Pauper version, because I'm not sure if Frogmite's played in the traditional Infinity.
That's
He's
true. There are a number of different Affinity lists depending on things. Some are running Hangerback Walker at the minute.
But I haven't seen any of the, like, we've seen some of the land that's a bit good, a bit powerful, but I haven't seen any of the Master of Ethereum, your Arcbound Ravager,
Arcbound Ravager is the one. Or even a Mox Opal.
or a Steel Overseer. So
Yeah, so...
we were assuming that we were seeing top tier decks here, but we could very well be mistaken.
We could be wrong. Getting some damage and some infect in there.
Yeah, we shouldn't be quiet, Alice.
We don't want dead airtime.
I'm personally trying to Google this card that I don't know what it is. Is it white or is it a Affinity or an artifact?
I'm leaning towards white, but I'm not sure. This card that Ad Nauseum has here is another one of the mana rocks. It's Pentad Prism, and that we have a Phyrexian on life already. Pentad Prism has Sunburst, and it comes in with as many counters as colors played it, and then you can remove a counter and add a color of mana to your mana pool. So it's just another way for them to generate the mana that they need in order to Ad Nauseum. But playing a Phyrexian on life here kind of represents that they might have Ad Nauseum, because that Lotus Bloom is going to come off suspend in the next turn, and I think we might see another Ad Nauseum play, unless that mysterious sideboard card up there is somehow preventing it.
Dude, well, I'm gonna go meta on this. Because we're not live, we have the benefit of knowing that we're about halfway through the video at the moment.
So you think that maybe that video, that sideboard tech is actually doing something?
Well, I just think that because we're halfway through the video, we have time for another game after this.
Do you reckon it's Nevermore, just you can't cast Ad Nauseum?
That'd be genius sideboard tech.
I don't think he had the right colors for it. He definitely didn't have the right
He's got
colors for
Springleaf
it.
Drum, so...
Nevermore's double white.
Oh, it's done.
But just Nevermore. You can't play your one win condition.
Yeah.
I'd love it. That said, some Ad Nauseum have Laboratory Maniac in the sideboard.
Well, if you still can't play Ad Nauseum to draw the cards, that doesn't help you.
Exactly, it doesn't. But I just love that idea. It's so cool.
But it's so fragile as well. Like,
that's true.
Can you imagine, you can't draw any cards? Well, I'm gonna Lightning Bolt. I don't know what's Laboratory Maniac. It's a 4/1?
Something like that. It's not
We're looking it up now, just because we're...
It's a 2/2,
yeah,
so it's very fragile.
It dies to a bolt.
Although bringing it in against Affinity is not too bad an idea.
What's that?
Well, they don't have many or any kind of bolt effects.
Well, they have Galvanic Blast.
They might have Galvanic Blast, but they also they don't run as much land or many ways to get colors, and they're more like with the Springleaf Drums, they're more likely all in.
I think that they've got so many ways of getting different colors. They've got Springleaf Drum.
I mean, like at the moment, if you was to drop a Laboratory Maniac at the moment,
for Springleaf Drum, for what is happening with the exposure of this? It's just doing a dance.
I think, is that a Ravager we're seeing?
We have finally seen one of the money cards.
There we go.
Now, I guess what's the play here? What's the
Well, look, we've got the Phyrexian on life. He needs to get rid of 8 life, and then he needs to do I think it's at least 8 more damage.
But do you just go all in, man up the infect creature, put all the counters on it, and then go for the infect?
Oh, that is true. Depending on how he's tapped his mana here, again, we can't really see because of the glare.
Springleaf Drum.
Springleaf Drum to activate, sacrifice
everything.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Maybe not the signal pest. Keep that alive because
get that little bit of extra damage in.
Well, yeah, it's going to get the extra point of damage regardless because it's because of what it is.
Because of the thing that it does.
Yeah, because of the ability that is granted. He's gone down to. So he didn't go.
Didn't go all in fact.
I'm interested to see whether because we're sort of a bit removed from the game because we can't see some of the cards. Whether that was a win that he's now lost lost the
Was that a misplay, or was that the best thing at the moment? Well, I mean, if this card up here, please, people in the comments, tell us what that card is. But if that card is actually stopping Ad Nauseum, I really don't know how the Ad Nauseum player can win. Oh no! Well, there's the
Ad Nauseum.
There's Ad Nauseum.
No, he's doing something.
There is a response.
Counterspell.
Is that stubborn denial?
I think it might be.
Oh wow!
I told you
That'll
that.
do it.
I told you that. I wouldn't be surprised if the Ad Nauseum had.
The Affinity had some counters.
I didn't expect to see one in this match, I'll be honest, but very happy that we did.
That's some prime sideboard tech there.
Yes. Well, I suppose at the store we have quite a large combo heavy meta at the moment.
We do, so it makes sense to have something like that. And there's another sleight of hand, just digging through for answers. I mean, that's part of the reason. A lot of combo decks do play blue, so that they can just dig through for their answers with Serum Visions and sleight of hands.
Yeah, which is it's nice to be able to dig for your combo. But I wonder how many turns do you reckon Ad Nauseum has? Because given that we've said that he could have won with the way that he's given. Thank you, live audience.
Well, it's interesting. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but it seems like a few artifacts were sacrificed in that last turn.
Are they on the Phyrexian Evoker? The Arcbound Ravager?
It looks like it. Oh, yeah, it looks like some. It's 1/1 each.
So I'll be able to play this time.
Alright, we're back to game 3. We found out what that card was that was giving us trouble in the last game. Rule of Law on the Affinity side, an enchantment that means that players can only cast one spell per turn, which would do a good job at stopping Ad Nauseum, I think.
Just a creature removal proof version of its Swing Canvas.
Exactly.
So, what's happening here? We've got
a turn 1 Serum Visions. Which is
classic combo player. Classic combo. It's interesting because they get to look. They trade one card and they pretty much get to look through 3 cards, digging deep for the cards that they're after.
Which is not too bad when you're.
Well, you can understand why it's the only legal version of that type of card in modern. If you had too many of them, these combo decks just become too consistent.
Can you imagine Modern with Brainstorm?
Yeah, well, I mean, I really liked back when we were talking about Khans of Tarkir. I really liked Dig Through Time, just as a control deck player. If I had to choose between Dig Through Time and Sphinx's Revelation, I actually thought that Dig Through Time was better.
No, it makes sense. You get to pick the best 2 cards of the top 7 as opposed to just taking your luck with the top.
Yeah, which as a control player, that's very good. But I can totally understand why they banned it because it makes them far too consistent.
We should probably talk about the game going on here. Oh, we've seen a turn 2 Phyrexian Unlife off of Simeon's Spirit Guide.
And a Lotus Plume. He's setting up quite well.
Whereas the Affinity player has a Mox Opal, 2 Ornithopters, and a Cranial Plating, which will give whichever Ornithopter he equips it to +1 for every other artifact he controls.
There's some kind of sideboard tech that's...
Exile target enchantment, I believe.
Yeah.
That'll do it. That'll take care of the Phyrexian Unlife.
Well, sideboard. I'm assuming it's a sideboard card from the thing. I wish I could actually read what the card was from here, but
I think it's from Khans or the Theros block or something like that.
Signal Pest on the field as well is attached on there. Is that 5 damage?
I think we're getting an attack for 5. That's a good start.
4 turn clock.
Yeah, that's not bad. As far as turn
2
goes, that's not too bad.
Here we go.
Let me see, a land and pass.
Typical combo player.
Can't really do much until you've got your combo pieces there, which I suppose is the main difference. I mean, like Affinity is usually always able to do something, whereas the combo player a lot of the time just has to go, what, draw my card, play my land, pass the turn, because I can't do my thing yet. But when they do their thing, it's always very explosive.
Yes, usually winning them the game. So now we've just seen the Affinity player play an Arcbound Ravager. Now, what's your opinion on this in regards to, you've got Cranial Plating and Arcbound Ravager, which are both sort of using the same resources.
Yeah, well, it's I think it's the versatility. I mean, I don't think you're going to be sacrificing everything to your Arcbound Ravager unless you have to.
In other matchups, it's more important because if someone would try and remove the Cranial Plating or destroy the
attacking creature, then...
Well, not so much the attacking creature, more about the Cranial Plating. But I suppose if you destroy anything that you've got, it's an artifact, you can sack it and then pump your Arcbound Ravager.
The Ravager does seem to kind of protect most of your board from removal spells, because any removal spell really has to be pointed at the Ravager first before you can think about trying to get rid of anything else.
And even then, they can still sack a bunch of permanents in response to it.
Exactly.
It's interesting to see in this game, I suppose the life totals being what they are, it's not as important, but he could have gone straight onto the Infect damage, sacked all his creatures, and put it all on the Manland, and sort of gone to town.
Gone to town that way.
Yeah, how much damage would that have done?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So 7 damage.
7 damage.
Which he's already got 2 infect on. Oh, that 2 infect was from this.
Was from that turn.
Yeah,
so
sorry.
I mean, I would wager that you don't really want to put all your
eggs in one basket.
Unlike the Ad Nauseum player, you don't really want to pile everything onto your infect creature. Unless it's going to be lethal, I would say.
Agreed.
Just in case something goes wrong.
Command doesn't stop life blink.
And even then. But against the deck like Ad Nauseum, you don't have as much time as you would like.
Yes, does Ad Nauseum... Oh, it's got Slaughter Games. I was going to say, Slaughter Games, Slaughter Pact. I was going to say, does it have much removal?
It sometimes runs Slaughter Pact.
Well, we saw. I think we saw it in a previous game.
Maybe.
We didn't see it played, but we saw it when he was cycling through.
Yeah, that's true. I think some lists run. It's like, oh, Angel's Grace. That'll stop the attack.
Yes. Well, I mean, he would have lost the game if he didn't have it.
Yeah. Angel's Grace is a split-second instant. It means that you can't lose the game, and any damage that you take that would reduce your life below 0 just puts it on 1. So that's usually what they use with Ad Nauseum, so they can draw their entire deck and not lose the game.
Well, I'd be interested to see how does that card affect infect damage? Because could he have sacrificed his permanents to put all on the Infect Manland Inkmoth Nexus to win there?
Well, see, that is an interesting question, because I mean, the card specifically states that you can't lose the game this turn. But if you start your next turn with 10 Infect counters, do you lose the game?
And does the Infect state-based action? No, he's doing. He's sacking the creatures to be on.
There is some sacking going on.
But how much is the question? Because he obviously still wants to bring his life total down to 1 to give him the other option.
Yeah, to give them just the versatility on the next turn.
He's got 7, and he's got enough to deal lethal next turn.
From both fronts.
So you got the Ad Nauseum player's going to pull something out of his ass.
That's what he needs to do. I think he needs another Angel's Grace and Ad Nauseum,
which
and
just
enough
isn't
mana
going to
to play it.
Yeah,
Plains, strong
you
play.
don't want to top deck a land.
The Angel's Grace.
Oh really?
And Ad Nauseum.
Oh, you're joking.
There we go.
You got to feel for the Infinity player.
Oh,
he just removed the Phyrexian Unlife.
He did everything right, everything he could.
Well, I mean, you'd be interested to see whether the not putting all his eggs in the basket for the Infect win
would have
changed. I mean,
would have changed.
You have to respect the Slaughter Pact, don't you?
You do.
Stage.
I suppose you do. There you go. Ad Nauseum gets ahead of Infinity. The combo does work. It gets there in front of those tiny little robots.
Those poor robots. Rusting against the beautiful combo that is Nauseum.
Anyway, that's the match. Thank you very much for watching.
It's been Ugly Ellis and Beautiful Costa.
And we'll see you next time at Modern at Shane's Trading Card Games. Take care, everybody.
You're playing that white